minutes to 9 now. And we're going to get some more business news now. Jamie McIver's back with us, looking at the impact of what the Brexit vote means for Polish entrepreneurs living and working here. Jamie, what more can you tell us?
Well, Hayley, Scotland's home to more than 80,000 people who were born in Poland. Many are working here, some have set up businesses. So what happens when the UK leaves the European Union is going to be a big question for many at the Polish-Scottish Business Forum. That's going to be taking place in Edinburgh today. Well, Michael Dembinski is Chief Advisor for the British-Polish Chamber of Commerce, and he's in our Edinburgh studio now. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
So, this must be a time of unease for many Polish people in Scotland and across the UK. What are you picking up from them?
Uncertainty on the one hand, but also the possibility of opportunities. Quite what they are we don't yet know, but things change, and when things change some businesses are quick enough to respond, but overall uncertainty dominates.
As you say, uncertainty dominates, but some see the opportunities. We know Brexit is on the way. We know it's almost inevitable, almost certain the UK will leave the European Union. As we've been discussing this morning on the programme, though, we simply don't know when, and we don't know on what terms. What sort of problems is that uncertainty causing?
I think there's a number of issues. One is to do with migration, and that many Polish entrepreneurs started off here servicing the Polish community, Polish shops, Polish restaurants, and trading between Poland and the UK. So there are issues about the future size of the Polish population in the UK and what that will mean for entrepreneurs. But then as a chamber, what we're trying to suggest to Polish entrepreneurs is they should look to a broader audience and to sell their products and services to the 64 million other people living in the UK who are not Polish born.
So I suppose in many senses a lot really does depend on what the terms of the Brexit will be, what sort of access to the single market there is, and what sort of migration controls there may be.
Very much so. It's very much to do with things like the customs union, for example. The UK was, until the beginning of this year, Poland's second largest export market. Now it's slipped a bit, and also from the point of view of migration, that on the one hand there's long-term low-skilled migration, and that seems to be what the government in Westminster is most keen to control. But then there are also the low-skilled short-term workers who are very much needed in agriculture and horticulture.
Well, indeed. Are you hearing from businesses who are concerned by the possible impact this could all have on their workforce?
Very much so. Not only the large employers, but also their supply chains. I mentioned, for example, horticulture. 1/3 of all workers in that sector across the UK are EU migrants.
Now, what do you need to hear from the UK government as they proceed towards Brexit?
I think one thing is a bit of clarity about migration, about what the UK government really wants to see. They're talking about reducing net inward migration by 80,000. So that means cutting the number from 300,000 to 220,000. Was that really worth all the upset of pulling out of the European Union? So we need clarity about also about the customs union. That will really hit businesses hard that are importing and exporting across the EU.
And do you still need any specific assurances about the rights of people who are already here?
Yes, indeed. That is very important for employers who are employing Polish people and other EU migrants, but also it works the other way, that there are several million British nationals resident within the EU.
Well, indeed, of course, we're talking Polish people this morning, but as you say, many of these issues you're talking about apply to other EU nationals in the UK and to British people living elsewhere in the EU.
Exactly, and many of these people, certainly as a Chamber of Commerce, we have many British expats who are living and working in Poland, and they are unsure about their status.
Michael Dembinski, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Michael Dembinski, their Chief Advisor for the British-Polish Chamber of Commerce, and as I say, that conference taking place in Edinburgh today.